Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm so happy to be here with you today. So, Mahela, hello. How's it going, beautiful? I'm actually going to put you up here so I'm not looking down. There we go. So we are using a platform called StreamYard, and you can actually give StreamYard permission to know who you are, and then I get to see you up in the chat. And because if you haven't given permission, then I don't know who I'm talking to. That's why I have my phone going at the same time. So I'm running on the devices because I like to acknowledge who I'm talking to. Oh, hi, Dr. Aitin. Hello from Istanbul, going to SOP. Hello, hi everyone. Hi, Twy. Happy to be with you. I see Brenda, Susanna. So welcome to this week's conversations about magic. Today was actually by request. Someone had asked me. Good morning, Jackie. I had created this post about, my graphics designer. I was asking for some kind of Halloween-y graphics, and she had this gorgeous, like wild-looking wolf. And she's kind of like, well, what words would you put to this? And I had asked, well, when was the last time that you were wildly magical, wildly you, wildly free? I can't remember all the things. And we posted it when a lot of people were really excited about it. And someone had requested, hey, would you talk about this on your next As If by Magic Facebook Live? So yes, the answer is yes, I will talk about it today. I would love to talk about that wildness of being you, and that wildness of potency and magic that we all are, that we don't often allow ourselves to be freely. Hello, Leonie. Hello. So, do you guys like my mug? Clever Witch. It's one of those mugs that as it cools down, you can see it starts to darken and all the heat. So this is how much coffee I have left. That's it, guys. It's going down. It's a really fun little magical mug. Makes me happy. It's kind of witchy and Halloween-y. Okay, so wildly you. What does that bring up for you guys? When you look at being wildly you, it is that sense of that out of control with your potency, with your magic. Oh, you like it? And how often do you allow yourself to be that way? How often do you allow yourself that freedom? And when were the times when you allowed yourself that freedom, that wildness, and you were made wrong? Oh, I'm frozen. Am I frozen to you guys? No? Okay. I'm back. If I was gone, I'm back. Maybe this is a hot topic. It's like, no, not wildness. It's going to destroy the world, right? Like, how young were you when you first noticed that you scared people? Whether it was like something noticeable or just a sense of it. I know that I get that I terrified my parents the moment I came out. I see photos of me as an infant, and like a lot of babies aren't, you don't always see them like behind their eyes, and I'm like right behind my eyes, like present and just there, and kind of with this look of like, what are you insane people doing here on this planet? So how young were you when you first terrified someone, either by your potency, your knowing, your magic, your presence, your capacities? Maybe it was a teacher in school, maybe it was a parent, maybe it was anyone that you care about. and or people that you didn't even care about. And what did that mean to you? And when did you decide you had to be in control? Just catching up on some comments here. So people love the mug. It's such a good mug. I love it too. As if by magic. We got the logo on it and everything. It makes me so happy. Leonie said, the music gave me the vibe of Aladdin. Oh, that's so cool. I love Aladdin, that's a really fun magical movie. It mixed up being wild with being ferocious. Well, but what if sometimes being ferocious is exactly what's required? And Jackie says, such a sense of freedom with wildly. And how do I be that? Exactly. So how do you be as wild as you actually are? Now, I'm not suggesting that you go and do pretense of wildness, in the United States, they have like spring break, and they used to do these videos. I don't know if they still do them, and they were like Girls Gone Wild, and these girls are flashing everyone, and they're just being wild and crazy, right? I'm not saying to do things that are destructive to your life in any way. But if you're willing to have the wildness of you, the wildness of your magic, that could show up in so many different ways. But it also is, even in the ways, if you go out of how it shows up, there's an energy. So I don't know if you've ever actually come across a wolf. I was working, I was a young little spry young girl working at a truck stop, and one of the truckers brought their pet, and it was a wolf. Okay, so I've been around some kind of terrifying animals before, but it was very different. So there's animals that are angry, or they've been maybe trained to attack, or they are kind of have been abused. So they're on that edge. Okay, so there's that kind of energy, right? Then there's the energy of the wildness of this wolf. And the guy's like, it was so beautiful. Like the wolf was so gorgeous. I was like staring at it, and the owner said, oh, come on out and meet my wolf. And so I came out, and I was like, can you pet? Like, I'm like, I don't know. Can you pet wolves? Like, is this wolf going to eat me? And he's like, oh yeah, like it's really friendly, kind animal. So I was stroking the fur and looking into this animal's eyes, and there was this sense of wildness that I had never tapped into before, which was so different than the kind of fear-inducing energy of abuse that I had experienced kind of growing up in my household, around other people. So what do you all know about wildness and the energy of wildness and wild magic that is unlike any form of power over or abusiveness? And the ferociousness can be part of it, but it's not all of it. So everything that you've done to misidentify, misapply wildness with attack or meanness, can we distrain and create it, please? Right and wrong, good or bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So any of you new to Access Consciousness or the clearing statement, at As If by Magic, we create with the tools of Access Consciousness, and the clearing statement is one of the magical tools we use. It clears out energy. And if you want more information on it, you can go to theclearingstatement.com and check that out. We're not going to go into it today because it's kind of a long discussion. So that wildness, so you could just tap into that right now. Tap into any wild animal that maybe you've been to the zoo, but that's even a different experience, because I've been to a lot of zoos, a lot of those kind of parks. And for some of them that have been there for a while, the wildness has changed. Wow. So how many of you are wild animals, wild magicians that have been in a cage way too long. Everything that is tens of godzillion, we destroy and create a place. Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Now, here's the thing about the wildness. The wildness does not mean, it does not mean that you are out to attack. Okay? It doesn't mean that you're out to harm. It doesn't mean that you're out to kill. But what I have noticed is that you have the willingness to kill. You have the willingness to attack. You have the willingness to be anything and everything at any moment, regardless of anyone else's need of you. There's that wildness. So we have spent so much time and so much energy learning how to control ourselves, putting things in place to control ourselves, hiring people to control us, getting into relationships that control us. How much of your life have you committed? How many lifetimes have you committed to creating new and complex cages to suppress and compress your wildness? Everything that is times a godzillion, you destroy and create it, please, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So now if you have a trained animal, right, you have a, let's say a dog, okay, and you know that this dog has been trained, it's been domesticated, okay, so it's a different energy. So its food comes from its owner, it knows punishment, whatever kind of training it's undergone, okay. Then with that wolf in particular, you know that wolf is fully choosing not to eat you. Whereas these domesticated animals, a lot of them have this, they actually are no longer aware that they have choice. They have sourced, they've become, and that's part of where we take a wild animal and we create it as a domestic animal, is that they start to rely on their owners as to provide for them, to provide food, to provide shelter, to provide these things that in the wild kingdom, no one provides that for them. So they're in full choice always. They are their own source, ultimately, always. So how many people have you made yourself reliant on so that you would never be as wildly free as you truly are? Everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and create it, please, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and meows. I am going to catch up in the thread here, but I'm just running on the stream of consciousness for a little bit longer. And keep asking you guys to tap into that wildness. That whatever animal you kind of resonate with. So it might be that wild wolf. It could be a lioness. It could be a lion. It could be whatever animal, that wildly free animal that you be, and tap into those energies. And would you allow that wildness to awaken within you? Because here's another thing. So now you take let's take that other energy that can kind of seem like wildness, but it's not. So these, I've been around animals that have been trained to kind of attack, like, and to be on guard against anyone that is around their owner. Okay. So they are employed, they have a job, and they're following their job. And their job is to be suspicious of you. and if something that they've been trained to, like a reaction, say, someone making a quick move, they are trained to react and trained to attack. Okay. That is not the choice of wildness. That's entrainment. So how many of us have been entrained to react ferociously, and in a way to overcome that, we suppress all of our wildness, which is a beautiful, powerful, potent capacity. To be wild is to be truly free and to be truly present. Because when you are in the wild, you're present with everything going on. Okay, I'm going to catch up in the thread now. There were so many really awesome comments and questions. So, Dr. Aiton said, when magic shows up, I did not know what to do. Yeah. So when magic shows up, one thing to acknowledge is that there's not a lot of doing required. It's actually an acknowledgement of what you're being that's allowing the magic to show up and asking for more. And not controlling it. Which is part of this wildness conversation, is actually giving up that control. Namrata says, we are naturally wild. Leonie says, others judge us as being wild and ferocious is wrong. Absolutely. Yep. Yep. You know, it was so great. I had this really cool conversation with my oldest kid last night. And okay, so they were like being so cute, and they're like, Mom, will you get me this, Mom? Or so actually they're saying, Mommy, will you get me some water? Mommy, will you do this? And I was like, be careful about abusing your power. And I was just joking, but there was actually an energy there. And my kid caught it and he goes, can I say something about that? I was like, oh, yeah, sure. What? And he goes, well, can you abuse power? Can you actually ever abuse with your power? Or is that just a judgment that people use to control your power? So this is my 10-year-old. He's freaking brilliant and facilitates me like this all the time. And I was like, wow. And that's really resonated so deep for me personally in my life and my journey of this power that I've always just kind of naturally had. And this kind of blanket put on me as to make sure you don't abuse people with power. And then I would have abusive people in my life, and I would buy that they were abusive with their power, because that is one of the lies of this reality. So anywhere that you have bought the lie, all the implants and explants and everything that's keeping you suppressing and compressing your power and your potency so that you don't abuse your power, will you distrain and create that, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, puck and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. It's even like, look at this, apply this to having ease with creating money. So if you have something in your world where you have a fear of abusing your power, then could you be the richest one in your community? Absolutely not. Because somewhere that you are magic and that you can create money as if by magic. And so if you have a fear of abusing that power, you have to always be limiting it and always be less powerful than the people around you, the people you're connected to, and the people that would judge you as being abusive with your power. Uh-oh. So can we give that up today? Would you guys be willing to give up a percentage of it? Yeah, cool. Right and wrong, good and bad, puck and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. All right, and 12, put the clearing statement in there. Thank you so much. Leonie says, yes, being caged. Jackie says, oh, it feels fun and potent, the wildness, wild is free and raw. Yeah, love this conversation. Tapping into the wildness makes me calm. Yes. Isn't that funny? Isn't that really, thank you for saying that, Leonie. Isn't that really interesting? Because what if everything we bought about wildness and us being the wildness that we are is not true? Because to be this wild being, this wild magician, and to continuously be suppressing and controlling yourself, that is definitely not relaxing. That is not calm. That there's no peace in that. But to acknowledge the wildness that you are, to let go of that control, that suppression, and just be that wildness without having to do anything. That calmness, that peace, how much of that is you letting go of trying to control an atom bomb of power? You get to relax into being you, being elegantly, magically you. Jackie said, great analogy. Wow. Wildness feels so light, says Sally. Wow, oh my God, how much have we been imprinted with cause and effect and learn reactions? Absolutely. And how much more free are we really under all that? Free to be and act, not to react. Exactly. So the wolf, what I got from my moments with this wolf, like I received so much from that animal, and I'm so grateful, was that he was in total choice. And he was taking action. So he was receiving my touch and he was receiving me. And at the same time, he was very aware of everyone around him and everyone in the restaurant. And he wasn't in the restaurant. He was just outside where the windows were. He was aware of his, I was going to say owner, but it actually has more of a partner energy. And there was no reaction. I had no fear of this animal reacting. I knew that he was in full choice with everything going on, and that he would act based on what he got was the greatest thing for him. Dr. Angel says, okay, no control. young body, brilliant being. Alicia says, told to be truly powerful to suppress them. Yeah. Coughing fit over money, power convo. Oh, Jackie. See, my mug's going dark now. My coffee is almost done. It's just this little bit here. Yeah, might want to look at that where, so if you have let's go one step deeper. We're going to probably end this live soon. So I try to keep these lives a little bit, like, not too crazy deep into conversation, but definitely being that contribution to everyone here. And thank you all for being here. So let's go one step deeper with the abuse of power. Yeah. So anywhere you've aligned and agreed, her resisted and reacted to you, wow, you having power in itself is abusive. Will you distrain and create that, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, puck and pot, all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. So it's not even what you would do with that power. You don't even get to go that far. You having power is abusive. Can we let that lie go? Can we? Please, I'm going to. Anyone that wants to join me, right, wrong, good, bad, puck, but all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. Yeah, no more of that. This contributes a lot. I'm hearing, Cass says, I really needed to hear this conversation today. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Barbara says she's grateful. Hi, Marina. Time zone change, everything is 1 hour earlier. Oh yeah, it is kind of weird. And we're going to have a time zone change on this weekend so that it's going to be all the same again or whatever. Johanna says, I find this conversation wildly inspiring. Oh, I love it. There's some good mornings. There's some hellos. Some done with that. And Leonie says, shit, yes, that makes me angry. So what's underneath the anger is probably even more wildness. So all of the anger, could we let that go? And have the wildness that we truly are, the wildness of potency, of magic. And what if it could be kind of fun, having people like a little bit afraid of you? You know, they don't know what to expect. They don't know what you're going to choose. How much does that invite them to more presence? Not from scared of you, like fear of violence. But what I'm inviting you to is that that invitation for people to come into more presence, more awareness, just by being around you, because you have such presence, awareness, and such willingness for wildness that it pulls them to that edge, that pulls them to that space of playing with the wildness of you. So Johanna says, gosh, I perceive such ease tapping into my wildness and almost like, I'm not sure what that means. Buller problem, that could be a typo, intimidating people. Maybe you could take that word in again. Oh, Jackie says giggling going on over here. Yeah, so could we, how much fun have we been suppressing and rejecting with the wildness we could be changing realities with, that we could be changing the world with, that we could be playing with? Oh, bulletproof. Yeah, exactly. Like that capacity of being bulletproof. Bulletproof in your wildness. See, my body relaxes too. It's like, yes, this is what's true for us. This is what's true for us. Yeah, so everywhere any of us bought that intimidating others, scaring others, or anything else, known or unknown, spoken or unspoken, around that, everywhere we allowed that to control us, will we restrain and create it, please? Right, wrong, good and bad, talking about online shirts, boys and beyonds, and everywhere we bought it was an unkindness. Can we restrain and create it, please? Right, wrong, good and bad, talking about online shirts, boys and beyonds. Maybe you're the adrenaline rush that the world is looking for, is asking for. When you are like, have you ever been, maybe you're on like a roller coaster, or you're driving in a car and you just speed up a little bit and you're just like a little bit of that, not adrenaline rush overload, but that you're just like, oh, like you have a little bit more of that sensation and you have to be a little bit more present. Just that sprinkling of that energy, that is sometimes what's created when you're around something very wild. And how much does that actually bring life to people's bodies and bring them into presence? And what a huge gift that is. There are too many people on this planet right now checking out. There's too many people on this planet right now that are not in their body. They're not present. They're not, asking questions. They're not even enjoying living. So we looked at like how much fun, and it was giggles and play for us, but how many people would actually really be grateful for your wildness? And the ones that aren't, that's okay. That doesn't matter. They'll just go away. they'll just run off into their little safety, and that's totally fine. Well, it said, someone said they were scared of me once. I totally went into that I was wrong and somehow did something wrong. Absolutely. So everywhere your innate wildness is wrong and you did something wrong by being it, will you all destroy and integrate that, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Yeah, what if it wasn't wrong to be wild? What if it wasn't wrong to terrify people just by being you? What if it was an invitation and a gift? Cass says, so many people are so contracted and fearful. What possibilities of change live within our wildness? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And what's underneath the fear? What are we using the fear to suppress? Might be some wildness. And then he says, what would it take to have the people who don't want to live or be present either change or choose different? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Might take all of us being willing to be wild. Thank you guys so much. This is a really fun conversation. I have a lot of fun on these weekly lives with you, and this was a cool topic to play with, especially as, you know, it's Halloween and the wildness comes out of people sometimes. So how much wildness can you allow out today, tomorrow? Maybe it grows day by day, or maybe you dive in. And if you haven't joined us, we do have a free online Halloween party going on, and it's been really fun. And there's been a lot of cool events we've had in there. We've had some prizes. This cool mug was one of the prizes. I'm probably going to do another draw. And yeah, so join us there. And if not, I will see you next Thursday for another conversation with magic. Thank you all. Bye for now.